senior housing. I don't know exactly which one it was in LA, but all this house cycle is in LA County, and our vision, especially, is to eventually have it cycling, have our cycle Long Beach, so we can help redistribute computers to the Long Beach populations, the marginalized populations. It hits home, it hits home. My mom, she was a victim of identity theft, and when I moved out to Long Beach for college, it's hard, it's hard, and she's getting older and she's losing her memory, so eventually, I'm gonna probably have to take care of her and stuff. So I'm trying to move her back over here and stuff, because I'm originally from Stockton, and I don't know if you guys heard of Stockton, but it's a pretty rough area in CFP. So you guys know, and briefly, like throughout after my college career, I've experienced the elder community and stuff, and the more and more I've learned is it's a community that needs a stronger voice, that needs a voice and needs representation and stuff, and it's really reassuring to know that there are organizations like you guys and champions like you guys being champions for the elders and stuff, and it's really reassuring to know that there's all these technologies and that we are moving forward with technology to do this. And as you guys know, like, it's not just a computer. I mean, we need internet also with the computers and stuff. And there's so many opportunities having the elder community with computers. And I know like half of us are here about getting getting elders connected, right? FaceTiming, Skype, being able to research. Just so important just to communicate, like you don't have to, call long distance. You can see face to face and stuff, and also just researching, health stuff, and legal stuff. There's just so many things, such an essential tool for the elder community. And now I'm going to introduce Paulina. If you guys don't know, she's one of the sole champions of making sure that we distributed 3,000 computers in LA County. And also, I don't know the exact numbers, but she'll probably say the amount of people she was able to connect to low-cost internet to. So here's Paulina.
Hi everyone. I am the program manager for Human IT. Piggybacking on what Anthony said, we do have several programs that focus on really finding all those in need. Different programs like our Cycle LA, specifically in LA, we have been able to donate over 3,000 computers to the city of LA and some surrounding counties. Free internet, free computers for 3 years, internet for 3 years. We also have other programs like Power On. Power On specifically focuses on LGBTQ community, and what we do is provide the resources. So we get computers, we equip them with the resources that they need, the contacts that they need depending on the city that they're living in, and we provide them also free internet. Currently, we were awarded a grant through Frontier Communications, but we don't have to focus really on Frontier. This grant provides us free laptops, and what's cool about this is that for the first time, these are brand new computers. In the video, you guys saw old refurbished computers, and they're new on the inside, but these are mobile laptops. Because of the community that we work with, some of them are not very stable, and specifically in housing. College students who we know that they're struggling, they need something that can go with them. So we are able to provide them low-cost internet. Really, they range anywhere between $10 to $25, and it really depends on their means. Not everyone can afford $25. Maybe to some of us that doesn't sound like a lot, but to some people who have everything budgeted, it's not doable. We are trying to fundraise so we can go ahead and provide free computer. I know you talked about Basic Access, which is one of the internet providers. So for us, there's no really an internet provider we need to focus on. We get these leads, we do the whole process with them. We call them, we take down their information, we say, okay, what makes you low income? Is it, do you have proof? If they do not, then we work to find a provider that services their area and that will accept their low income eligibility. And we do the three-way calls because a lot of them are, specifically the parents, are first-time internet adopters. They have no idea how to do this. You get on the phone, you all know that the reps will try to sell you for cable and everything else. So we make sure that that doesn't happen. Once we get off that three-way call, we call them back and say, did you get installed? Did you get approved? If you didn't, okay, let's hop on another 3-way call. Making sure that they do get connected. Here in Long Beach, we actually have all the zip codes available through the low-cost internet program. Unfortunately, we are stuck with certain zip codes that we cannot serve, and whoever's interested in this, I can provide the zip codes. But there are a lot of them throughout all of California, all of Long Beach, a lot of the Valley, a lot of LA County, up north as well, Central California. So we try to make sure that every lead that we get, we can either put them in one of the programs that we have. If we cannot, then we go ahead and then put them in a list. So when we do expand a program, or we do get another grant, or we create a new one, we can go ahead and reach out to them. I think the synergy that we all have here is that we all work with low-income people or households who have some kind of disadvantage. And we know that we need to inform them, and that's why we're all up here trying to make sure that they have the resources available. This computer, like Anthony said, through any of those programs, will allow them to look up medical centers, to log in to make sure that their kids are doing well in school, to make sure that they can find coupons maybe. Anything really that they need, the technology and the computer go hand in hand. One will not really do much without the other, so we champion both of them. We try to partner with local organizations to just really spread our word. We have 5,000 computers to give right now, and it's just really about people knowing that we exist. And a lot of the time when we approach the public, they don't really know who we are, so it sounds like a scam, right? Like, hey, let me give you a brand new computer and give you low-cost internet. They're gonna be like, oh, I heard that before, no thanks. But if we partner up with organizations to say, look, I've met someone who might be able to help you, give them a call, see if this is something that you can benefit from, then they're more willing to open up to us and really let us help them. And we really go out for referral. We work with YMCA, we work with schools. Once one parent gets to know us, they say, okay, I'm gonna go tell all my friends' kids and all my friends' parents and the teachers so they can promote it. So our goal today was really to get to know all of you, to let you know what we offer, and maybe try to see if there's any way that we can serve the community that you are already helping. And I'm open for questions as well. Yes.
You have 5,000 computers?
We have 5,000 brand new Chromebook laptops right now that we're trying to give away.
I will take one of them for one simple reason, not that I need one, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm gonna ask you a question, and I'm sure you're not gonna have an answer for you.
Okay.
I'm not putting it down. I think that you guys are great. I love your spirit, and if I can find a way to help you out, I'm here. I'm very much interested in finding out what kind of accessibility stuff have you folks been looking into as far as setting up using open source technology, given that there is, first of all, for, the low-income community is way well underserved, but the California Technology Initiative Foundation has basically, in their reports, it constantly shows the lowest and worst served demographic group is the disabled. And so I work with a couple of organizations that deal with the disabled, the Hispanic disabled, and the Asian Pacific Island disabled. So I can tell you that these people haven't got 2 cents, 2 pennies to rub together, and to try and get some of my things would be a godsend. But the thing is, there are people with various degrees of disabilities, and there is technology out there that's free, open source, it's available. And I'm curious to know if you folks have thought about that. And here again, I will be willing to sit down with Anthony or whoever and help spec out, configure a computer for accessibility. And I work for the gas company, but I have the liberty of working with organizations that can help make a difference. So that, in a way, it helps us because everybody's moving to a paperless environment, and these people are going to be no different. They got to be able to pay their bills online.
Definitely. Well, like you said, some people are not able to afford a low-cost offer, and that's why our other programs do exist. And we are working with different organizations. We partner with the City of LA that we're trying to go ahead and expand it. We're trying to do something like our cycle here in Long Beach. Our biggest donors include USC, Disney. They give their technology so we can go ahead, refurbish it, and then give it to those in need free of cost. Like any nonprofit or small business startup that you guys might know, sometimes we don't have the funding. And we are working to make sure that we can go ahead either fund that or get grants to be able to provide free technology and free internet as well, because like you said, not everyone can afford the $10, even though it might not appear much to someone. Through basic access, which I believe is what you're offering, if you knew that, if you know someone that maybe is interested in that and it would appear in one of our zip codes, what you could do is just say, hey, you're gonna sign up for internet anyways, that's low cost, get a free computer out of it, right? So that's when the connections would really come for us.
That's fine, but what I'm getting at is the accessibility tools. Like, for example, I have a computer, I use a Braille, I use the Braille display that plugs into it. Not everybody's gonna own a Braille display. The
Right.
reality is not all blind people read Braille.
Right,
Okay,
so,
but there are people who use screen readers. There are people that use, seniors in particular, that will use screen magnification. Those kinds of all, open source tools that are free. That's where I was getting at, to make those things
okay,
available.
I misunderstood. So yes, we don't have anything like that right now, and I really do think that's why partnerships are very important, because it takes someone to say, okay, this is a great plan, but how are you gonna help this side of the community? And so maybe partnering up with someone like you or the organizations that you work with can really spotlight what we're missing, and we can do a focus on it.
Exactly.
Anthony specifically is trying to fundraise for digital literacy, because giving someone a computer is not enough. They need to know how to use it. They need to feel safe using it. And that's really what we're working on, and that's why we're here to present ourselves.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, is it a nonprofit?
We are.
Okay, and then does it service all of LA County?
Yes, we service all LA County. Really, we service the whole country. Through Power On, we actually have a donation coming up that's going to happen in Florida to a center that helps homeless LGBTQ youth. For different, like I said, different programs really serve different areas, and it really depends on who either is funding the program or what the grant relies on. Some grants have certain rules, some donors want to specifically focus on one community. So when we do get someone who is in need of this service, we try to place them somewhere, and we can't do it all the time, but we are often opening new programs or expanding them. So we make sure that we have a list of someone. So if you don't fit that first wave, you will definitely be in the second time. And I also have flyers and business cards to pass out after this meeting. Thank you.